the 3rd of May 2025 at exactly coming to 2:16 a.m. YSDM, Yoruba Self-Determination Movement, is a body set up that every group is subjected to, as long as you are under the leadership of Professor Adebanji Akintoye. No group can take Yoruba Nation on our behalf, but they can walk in line to support the vision of the leader of the movement, Professor Adebanji Akintoye, that also have Ilana Omo Oodua. Just as Ilana Omo Oodua and many other groups, we believe everyone should walk in line with the YSDM. Following the resolve of many Yoruba to have our own independent nation outside the Union, we now know as Nigeria, several individuals established various groups and organizations, which are very good, fantastic. There's nothing wrong in it. It is encouraging. We need many groups, formidable groups, lawyers, technicians, engineers, architects, researchers that can all come together to make this vision to be fruitful and not just online discussion. To pursue the dream of a sovereign Yoruba nation, many of these groups and organization activities were therefore duplicative, which is not good. We need a body that can speak with the international community, countries around the world, so that we can be able to achieve our desired goal of self-determination. No group can do it. The body of the groups will be better off, and that is why we are asking every one of us to be involved. Pastors, imams, our traditionalists, the kings. We know that they are not going to be involved, but we still encourage them to do so. It is not too late. Many of these groups and organizations' activities when we started the movement in 2019 were therefore duplicative. We cannot have many groups sending letters to the United Nations, the European Union, the African Union. We will become unserious people. We will become laughing stock of the world, that these are people that have been told that they were well advanced, well read, even before the colonizer came in the 15th century, the Portuguese. Why then can't we do things accordingly? But rather, still, many do not want to accept the YSDM for the great work that was put together to have it set up in 2021, August, when it was established and inaugurated in September 2021. It took a lot of task and work to get the YSDM. They might not be perfect. Nothing is perfect because we're not yet a government. Even government around the world are not perfect. So if you're looking for perfection, you might not get it. But we can work together to make it perfect. Rather than us trying to whine and bring the YSDM down, what we should be doing is to work with it as groups so that we can succeed quickly out of Nigeria. And every groups are working fantastically. We appreciate. We cannot continue to name all the groups because there are many groups and we might omit one. But we know that Ilana Omo Oodua is just one out of the many groups that was established in 2020, I believe, after the Yoruba World Congress. was almost collapsed. The Yoruba World Congress, established during the period of Professor Akintoye taking us into the UNPO. But today, it is no longer called the Yoruba World Congress. It is now called Ilana Omo Oodua. The Yoruba in the diaspora, the Yoruba in the homeland, the Yoruba in Africa, we need to speak now to save ourselves out of the contraction. And that is exactly why working under one umbrella is better than having many that think that they can do it, even though we know that the YSDM has what it takes. And we as organizations can then walk in line with the YSDM. So let's read further on what YSDM is all about. Since organizations continue to have duplicative of each other, causing drawbacks and at times weariness to the many Yoruba patriots involved in our self-determination struggle. We experienced this at the beginning of the movement some 4 years ago, and we hope that we will not have to experience it again this time around. For these reasons, the vision of the Yoruba self-determination movement emerged, YSDM. Many Yoruba people need to know that there is a YSDM and it is there for a purpose. Like I said, they might not be perfect. We pray for them. We work with them. We support them under the leadership of Professor Adebanji Akintoye and all our leaders. As a collaborative body of Yoruba self-determination groups or organizations. And the purpose of the YSDM was to create a framework for achieving the task ahead. It is our duty, collective duty, to work with the YSDM so that the task ahead can be achieved and not just a dream as illusion. No matter how strong, powerful you are, we can work with the YSDM to achieve the task ahead. It took several consultations, which shows that this is a movement that wants a better future, where in a Yoruba country, Oduduwa Republic, whatever we decide to call it, consultation will be the backbone. We consult before taking or doing things, as against Nigeria that refused to consult, and as Britain did not consult enough. Neither did they even consult when they were merging Nigeria together in 1914. Because I'm sure that if Britain has done a lot of consultation, rejection would have happened from Egbaland to Ekiti, to Ondo, to Ijebu, to Oyo, to Ife, that we do not want to be part of a one entity block called Nigeria. But since consultation was not done, this was different from the setup of the YSDM. There was serious and several consultation, a lot of closed-door virtual meetings, and eventually, YSDM movement was established on the 7th of August 2021, and thereafter, same year, it was inaugurated on the 23rd of September 2021. The question then is, what are the aims and the objectives? Nobody knows the aims and the objectives of Nigeria because Nigeria is not a country. That is why we continue to have so many things that are going the other way around in Nigeria. The aims of the Yoruba self-determination movement, known as the YSDM, is to achieve just one thing: is not to take us to become a political party, but one thing only: the sovereignty for the Yoruba nation. That is the aim. Anything short of that, we would not follow it. And that's exactly why we need to understand, as groups, as people, as individuals, as organizations, that we cannot have multiple organizations taking us to where we can become a sovereign country. We can only walk along the lines. And that is why Professor Adebanji Akintoye created the manual guide to support this movement. Many people have refused to read this manual guide, even though on this channel, Koiki Media, we have done quite extensive work to give us everything we need to know, from the manual guide to the guideline to prosperity, that took me months to go through every content of it. But yet, people rather prefer to watch things that probably will not even help the movement. We cannot do more than what we are doing. And we're doing our best. Because the first task to fight any government is to have the right tools, which is information. But the right information is there on this channel, but you refuse to. Rather, you continue to complicate yourself with medias that does not have the full interest of this movement. We've talked about the good news path to prosperity in our Orílẹ̀-èdè Yoruba. Go back and type that on the search engine on Google, and it will bring back every discussion that this channel did on it. Professor Akintoye instructed every media to talk about it. I will let you go and check if any other media did extensive work on this. Then how do you want to tell your people that you're leaving Nigeria just by saying that Fulani is killing you alone, when the people doesn't even know what we are bringing for them? The young baby that died, the mother, probably, if every one of us, as instructed by Professor Akintoye, have talked about the healthcare, she probably will realize that there's a future, rather than still trying to pray for a shit-hole country called Nigeria. But many people that you expect to talk about the same thing that Professor Akintoye gave the mandate on every media to go out there and talk about it, they refuse to talk about it. But they want to talk about crisis, gossip, chaos. But nobody wants to talk about the good news, path to prosperity. Just as the same thing when Professor Akintoye told us about the manual script that will lead us to have our country. Many refuse as well to talk about it. The question then is why? And these are meant to be medias working in line under the leadership of Professor Adebanji Akintoye. Sometimes I wonder whether we have not even have many obstacles from the beginning that wants to derail the movement. Some have turned the movement into whatever they believe The Yoruba people around the world have supported each and every single one of us financially. No media would ever say that you did not support us enough. You gave us money, you prayed for us, you stood by us, but the same media refused to go in line with the project of Yoruba Nation fully. Not every media, but majority of them, I'm sure you know those I'm talking about. Will that stop the movement? No, because the movement forged ahead with them or without them. But it's a shame that those that collected your hard-earned money are now telling you all sorts of things that the Yoruba people are not ready to leave Nigeria. The question you should ask them is, what have they been fighting for in the first place? Because nobody, including myself, was forced to join this movement. It is my own will to put forward my media organization to fight to free ourselves from this contraction Britain put together. Even though 10 years we worked hard within the Nigerian community, that my record still stands as an outstanding. And I don't think I've done 10 years serving the Yoruba people. Those that collected your fund, those that you gave money, no matter how small, whether it was once in this movement, twice, I know because some of you have sent us to each other, vice versa. So no media will ever say that we were not funded. You give us super chat, that is funding it. So even if you are not giving them money directly, any money through the super chat is you giving them money for the task to say thank you for the job they're doing. But the same people are coming out now to tell you that the Yoruba people are not ready. The question is, when are we going to be ready to exit Nigeria? Are we running a comedy show on Netflix, on Primetime, on Amazon? Have we turned it to just a YouTube videos where we just come up every day, we do videos and we walk away, and then when we like, we come back out again, we give it all kind of headline with all kind of pictures? That is not a country. So the purpose of the YSDM was to be able to engage the international community through diplomacy, even if we might not agree fully that diplomacy will give us a full sovereign nation. But we cannot omit diplomacy, because diplomacy is part of international work. The YSDM aims at objective was to engage the Nigerian state using available instruments provided for by the international law and legislation, which is exactly what we have done fantastically well in the last 5 years. The YSDM aims and objective was to facilitate trust, respect, honesty, open relations between Yoruba self-determination groups. All different groups will be different for different purposes. A security group will be different from a welfare. A welfare will be different from maintenance. Every group will have different operations, and we would also make sure that these groups work to be able to work in line and agenda to free our people. Any group that is set up in disguise as a Yoruba Nation group and working against the movement is not in line with this movement, no matter whatever the groups are. You are rather to set up your group and call it a different name, but don't disguise and call it your group that is working for the Yoruba people but is against the movement. You know yourself. Everybody knows each other. And I hope that you would all work in line with the movement. Also, the aims and objectives of the YSDM was to work towards the common goal of independence for Yoruba land. But we know that there are some groups out there now. They are not working towards the common goal of independence of Yoruba land. Some are now working also towards the agenda of Tinubu 2027. Unbelievable. The aims and objectives of the YSDM was to accelerate the process of Yoruba self-determination. We've been told that there's a rally coming up. Why then are we trying to water down the rally? And you're calling yourself a Yoruba Nation media. You might as well call yourself something else without using the Yoruba word media, the Yoruba media. Because what is the essence of calling yourself a Yoruba media and you continue to water down what the leadership of the movement is talking about, that there will be a rally and the rally will happen, and it's our responsibility to prepare the minds of every Yoruba sons and daughters across the globe to gear up for the upcoming rally. But because of your selfish interest of individuals and groups, as you call yourself, you want to water down the upcoming rally. And you think that by watering down that rally, the rally will not be fruitful, the rally will not succeed, the rally will not lead to an independent Yoruba country. Take that back. This movement will be completed with everything and every power that we have. We will use spiritual, we will use physical, and we will remain mentally fit until the destruction of Nigeria, because Nigeria has destroyed millions of indigenous people. I pity many of you Yoruba people that cannot look in line and see that there is now agenda from some of our medias to distract you from the serious discussion on the table. There will be issues in Nigeria, there's no doubt about it, until the fall of Nigeria, and there will still be issues when we have a Yoruba country. But trying to use the current issues running in Nigeria to distract us from the main goal, then what is the purpose of this media? Our main goal should be our exit, to accelerate, to walk. You're right. Somebody asked, if you know that you don't want to be part of the movement, why did you join? It is not too late. Some of them left, and we give kudos to the work that they did, as at the time they worked towards enlightening our people using their platform. But they've walked away. I can mention names, you know them. Some of them are diverted into something else. It's good for them. But if you remain one Yoruba nation under the leadership of Igboho and Babakitoye and the YSDM, and you continue to deceive Yoruba people on your platform, it is time that these Yoruba people pull out of this platform and focus in the direction that can accelerate the process of the Yoruba self-determination. We are not sitting here coming out because we want Tinubu to become the president again in 2027. I want to do everything to stop that. But it cannot be done on this channel alone. That is the reason why groups are set up. Most of you sit down in groups, cannot even take the campaign to your next door neighbor. How do you expect people to know? Most of these groups, I've looked at it, has even a very limited numbers of people. Are these same numbers of people that will give us the kind of awareness that we need? Yes. If you're doing the right thing, you can multiply each number of the groups with the numbers of people and take the message across different parts of Yoruba land. But rather, you sit in the group and expect a country to come out like that. Our responsibility is to make sure that whatever we are discussing in the WhatsApp groups that we are all embedded with as a Yoruba nation, The message is meant now to deliver it to those that do not have access to the WhatsApp. Millions of Yoruba people do not have Android phones to receive messages like you. So if you're in a group, you should take the message to those offline. But rather than doing so, we continue to fight each other in these groups. We distract each other. We talk too much. While member organizations shall enjoy autonomy in their individual self-determination activities, what more do you need from the YSDM? Your group remain autonomous or autonomy. What does that mean? You can do whatever you like as long as it is still in line with Yoruba nation. You cannot just say, oh, we're a group and we've got to do things that the Yoruba self-determination movement has not instructed us to do yet. That means you're far away from the movement. Some of you don't even understand what the movement is all about. You think it's like a child's play. This is a serious life and death. I could be killed for this movement. You could be killed. Igboho was almost to be killed in 2021, but the gods of the land did not allow that. 2 people died in the course of the invasion of Igboho's house on the 1st of July 2021. 12 innocent Yoruba sons and daughters were subjected to dehumanization of people. They were kept just like Nnamdi Kanu in the cells of the DSS custody while we have Fulani terrorists carrying AK-47 across Yoruba land and nobody can touch them. It is time that we know what we are fighting for. It is not too late. I could be killed for what I'm doing. And that is why I do not take it as a joke. I would rather allow myself to fight it to the end, even if I have to be killed on this movement. And I will not sit back and allow anyone to destroy it. So if you're one of those that will destroy this movement, I will destroy you before you destroy this movement. Because most of you are faceless. Most of you will never even come down close to Africa to support it. You don't sit in the diaspora and water down the effort of Igboho and Professor Akintoye and many of our mothers that are walking around the clock. Iyajagun travels from Yoruba land to cross into Cotonou at the age of 70 plus. Is not an easy journey. Many of our youth are crossing across Yoruba land on a daily basis, working day and night to make sure that this movement can still be alive. While some of you sit in your stinking, dirty house and try to water down this movement, we will come offer you at the exact time. But for now, we do not want to be distracted. There is a big event coming up that is the rally, and that is what we should all be planning for, to set and ready for when the day will be announced. It does not matter when the day will be announced, just prepare for it. This movement is about life and death. If you do not know it, it is about life and death. Britain wants to take your life and wants you to die. So to survive, you must be fit, strong, to defeat every enemy that Britain is using, which are the Yoruba politicians and all our king except few. Most of them are criminals. Most of them made their wealth from the corrupt system of Nigeria, from Abacha era to Babangida era to Gowon era. They are all criminals, and including MK Abiola and many of such. they destroy us, we will destroy the last empire called Nigeria. Our life will not go for it, but do not think that your life cannot be taken. We are fighting a bigger enemy. And you, as an individual, must be prepared for whatever they're fighting to make sure that our achievement for a self-determination of a Yoruba sovereignty doesn't become reality. We must work and support Igboho. We must work and support Baba Akintoye. We must work for the Yoruba people that are truly in danger across Yoruba land. There's a lot that you can learn from the YSDM. There is an article of association following the resolve of many Yoruba to have our own independent nation outside of the Union, we now know as Nigeria. Several individuals established, we've talked about that. Article name, the name of the organization will be called Yoruba Self-Determination Movement, YSDM. I've told you the purpose and objectives, the aims, collaboration. We would have collaborations with same people with same ideology. We don't need to work with APC, devilish political party. We don't need to work with the PDP, devilish political party that have destroyed Nigeria by bringing in Fulani into the country. And this is an evidence, like I did promise you earlier. We listen to this from our brother that are also working day and night under their YouTube channel. Let's watch, for those of you on Facebook, and the rest of you will just listen. This is how Tinubu, Buhari, El Rufai, and all the criminals brought in the Fulani that are now killing us on a daily basis and making life unbearable for us in the contraction known as Nigeria. My name is Koiki. This is Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. The 3rd of May, 2025 is exactly 2:48 a.m. for record purpose.
Let me first of all say that the idea of bringing people from outside the country to destabilize wasn't, I didn't say they brought people to destabilize. What I said was that the idea, they actually brought people into the country with the intention that those people will come and vote for them. I think you understand? And they never realized, they never knew, they were never convinced that they were going to win that election because PDP was very, very strong on ground. So the fear was that they were going to lose the election. So the only thing they could do was to bring in people who could serve as mercenaries to come and win elections for them through the back door. But when the new PDP came on board and joined them and formed the APC and won the election, they didn't know what to do with those people. And in the process, those people became uncontrollable. Many people have spoken about that. You've mentioned that a name now, although I hate to mention names. You've mentioned a name now, you've mentioned the El Rufai. He talked about them.
Good afternoon, everyone. The first day of May is today, 2025. Now, this is an important video that I would like everyone in Nigeria to watch. This is a very interesting video, but it's so dangerous. This is a video we know about. The information in this video is something that we know about, okay? Now, the man that is talking is Baraji. I used to know him as Baraji, okay? He's a northerner, and he is in the process of explaining that PDP will still win election if they want PDP to win. He started explaining how Tinubu, Buhari, and some APC folks committed treason in the year 2014-2015. They imported foreigners who will help them to rig the election. And he said when Kondasari killed them, Atiku, Dino Mandai, when they dumped Jonathan to enter APC, so those people they imported from outside the country, They did not use them again because people who joined APC was enough for them to win the election, and they don't know what to do with those criminals again that they brought, and that is it. Do you now understand why they used to tell you that all these Fulanis are global citizens? Do you understand why they don't kill them, they don't do anything against them? We are living in illusion. Nigeria is just living in false foods. This is not a country. So I want you to pay attention. This video will watch your data, okay? I want you to pay attention and watch this video to understand the reason why I always come here to tell you the reality. People won't tell you all these things, and people will not, mainstream media who are interviewing this man, they will not bring out this fact for people to hear. They won't bring it out for people to hear. But we listen and we judge. Take your time and listen to this video.
Member of the PDP, which is one of the strongest opposition party in the country. Anybody can say anything he likes or he wishes. Politics is about dreams. It's about aspirations. Politics is about wish. And so the wish of anybody is his own personal, consumption. And if the APC is saying what they are saying, according to what you said, I think that's their wish. And then the opposition, to remember, are there. They are not just sleeping. In spite of what you call the gate of defection, as far as I'm concerned, defection or no defection, the PDP is still a party that is very strong on ground as an opposition party. And as far as the defection of the Delta, state governor and the team and the concerned, we have put that one behind us in PDP, and we are looking forward. So it depends on the wish and aspiration of everybody in whatever party. And the ruling party has the right to say whatever they want to say. But the oppositions are not sleeping. In 2014 and now, well, there are some comparisons you may draw, but they are totally different. The movement of the then new PDP was based on ideology, was based on principles, was based on the desire and aspirations of the people that moved. Remember, many of us that moved that time, there were governors, serving governors, there were former governors, there were serving senators, and there was somebody like me who was a former national secretary and a former national chairman. So, and politics or politicians, we have aspirations. So what will we say we wanted that we have not had in PDP that time? But because our members, because our people were not having the result of what we canvassed for vote for, then we decided to dialogue with the leadership of the party that time and the president of that time, and that was President Jonathan, that our people were not getting the dividends. Our manifestos canvassed for vote through, some promises to the people. But our people were not getting these promises. And like PDP, we are not just there for our own, on our own. We are not there to serve ourselves. We are there to serve our people. It's the People's Party. That was the principle. That was the main shoot of the disagreement. And we went ahead to discuss with the leadership of the party, and we brought in, a lot of discussions, back and forth with the president. I remember very well, Dr. Abachi, although you are a passive observer from a distance, there were a lot of meetings here and there with Mr. President and the group, the new PDP.
Is this what you're going to be listening to every 4 years? Criminal politicians tells us that their manifesto will give us the basic things of life in 26 years, 16 years of a wasted criminal PDP party, from Obasanjo criminal all the way down to Yaradua died, to Jonathan, another criminal, coming down to APC Fulani agenda. This is the garbage that they expect us to listen to every 4 years. Not the interest of the people. And that is why the YSDM is not a political party. The YSDM remains a Yoruba self-determination movement. And under the Article of Association, they have the membership requirement. Every Yoruba group or organization shall be eligible for membership if it shares the purpose of the Yoruba self-determination to create a sovereign Yoruba nation. The question you should ask yourself is all the groups having the same purpose of the movement? I will leave that for you to decide the groups that you are all in. Upon joining, each group or organization shall pay an admission fee. It is done anywhere in the world. Each member group or organization shall remain independent. What more do you need? Your group still remain an independent. You have the autonomy to do things, to raise funds, as long as whatever you're doing is in line with the Yoruba self-determination movement body. What more do you want them to do? Operate as it chooses, be strong, vibrant, and most importantly, uncompromising. Most of our groups now are compromised. Most of our medias are compromised. They continue to deceive you and tell you that they want Yoruba nation, but when the rally is called now, many of them have shielded away as if they are not hearing the rally is coming. That should be the bulk of the conversation in any of our broadcasts, to remind our people that rally is coming. Hardly some of them cannot even mention that rally is coming, and they will continue to shout, Igboho Sha! Igboho de, Professor Akitoye, all the lies. Not just the media, even individuals in the groups are not loyal. Most of them are traitors, and traitors will die before we achieve our movement. Every intending organization shall satisfy such other requirement as may be stipulated by the Executive Committee, the Yoruba Self-Determination Council, the YSDM, the Yoruba Self-Determination Council, known as the YSC, shall be the supreme organ of the YSDM, comprises of 2 representatives from your group. So if you have a group, you should ask your group, are you a member of the YSDM? And if they're not a member, you should ask them why. Because the purpose of the YSDM is to have all the groups collectively to work in line with the movement. They will hold oversight authority over and receive regular periodic report from the Executive Committee, the Expert Committee, the Secretary. We have the composition, the duties of the committee, the selection of the Executive Committee members. I'm just, because of the time constraint, because we're going to bring the broadcast to an end. Duties of members. The chairman shall serve the term of 2 years, renewable for additional term. The founding chairman shall be exempted. That is Professor Banji Akitoye, cannot be removed. Is the founding father of this movement. But all other executives would have to submit themselves back to the people after 2 years. We have the Security Committee. The duties of the security committee shall include providing, coordinating, and advising the YSDM on security in pursuit of the YSDM objectives. We cannot be telling you security issues. Does Tinubu tell me about the security that is not helping Nigeria today? So you can't allow security discussion on the social media. It's an internal job by the expert that knows about it. Protecting the YSDM information system. We have traitors that have taken information and deliver it. Nobody knows the date yet. We wait until the date is announced from the leader. We've seen many traitors that have taken information and share it with our enemies. And the greatest obstacle in life is for your enemies to know your movement in advance. They will destroy and kill you. And we know that the traitors are still among us. They are in your groups. They lie down very low using all kinds of different numbers and different Yoruba names, but they are not real. They are faceless within the groups. They lie down there as a spy, hoping that one day we will drop a bombshell about information that they can take to our enemies. So when some of you sit in the group and expect everything to be discussed on the WhatsApp group, I don't think you know what you're talking about. You think this is Babasuwe movement. You think this is a comedy that we are running, where we can just throw security information or sensitive information into a WhatsApp group to satisfy you. We have the financial committee. The finance committee shall establish the Yoruba National Fund, maintain a register of all the YSDM assets, advise the council on fundraising, deliberate and advise on the expenditure of the Yoruba Nation Fund, National Fund, for the purpose of the YSDM and other activities as approved by the council. We have the legal committee. The legal committee shall provide legal advisory service to the YSDM. So you can see, that this is not just an ordinary movement. It is a movement that has expertise in every sector. Yes, your group might say that they have the same thing, but they cannot have the same structure like the YSDM. We also have the International Diplomacy Committee. So when they tell you that they are working, yes, people are working around the clock because we have different time zones. It's already morning or afternoon rather in China, afternoon in Australia, New Zealand, while it is still early in the morning at 3:04 when I am releasing this audio. 3rd of May, 2025, Koiki Media. The international diplomacy was set up under the YSDM of establishing and maintaining diplomatic relations with foreign government. No government will tell you that they are having conversation with the Yoruba people. That will compromise them with the federal government of the evil country called Nigeria. Don't expect such information to be known to the public. These are very high classified information that is not even asked to be close to anyone, including myself. Engaging in international knowledge and exchange and forging alliance to promote Yoruba culture. These are the work that people are doing day and night. Implementing the YSDM decisions on matter of committee mandate, provide regular and periodic report to the executive committee. Publicity awareness and sensitization committee. The publicity committee shall coordinate and harmonize the publicity of the YSDM, inform and sensitize our people on the YSDM purpose. Executive mobilization towards the YSDM, identify and mobilize media houses, provide regular periodic report to the executive committee. Every single one of us needs to promote the Yoruba nation cause to others. There is also discipline and conflict resolution committee, interfaith. There's research strategy and think tank committee. There are people that sit every day and research and think. There is the welfare and general purpose committee. There is committee for records. There is secretariat. There is national conference. We saw the summit that took place last month in London. There is meeting and voting procedures. All these are what make up, there is confidential and no disclosure. All these is what makes up the YSDM. And as we wind down the program this morning, I say thank you so much for listening. My name is
Ole Ọbayeje. Mask ready to wear. Gbogbo aṣọ mi they are all ready to wear. Ẹ wo aṣọ kun ibi báyìí báwo lẹ ṣe fẹ́ wọn sí. Gbogbo owó ẹ̀yìn báyìí aṣọ ni. Tẹ́ bá rí blue tí mo mú jáde lẹ́ẹ̀kọ́ ẹgbẹ́ ẹ̀yìn báyìí mo ti lọ mú. Aṣọ kun bí báyìí patronize mi. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin daddy, ẹ̀yin mommy ẹ patronize mi. I have beautiful aṣọ for beautiful fabrics for daddies too. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin daddy mo láwọn aṣọ tó fine. Àsìkò summer báyìí party máa ń pọ̀ gan. Lásìkò summer àwọn aṣọ tẹ́ lè lò lọ sí party ó wà ní agbára Ọlọ́run àní ṣàṣetì àní bá wọn joyo iṣẹ́ lago ṣekú ọmọ tó bá ṣiṣẹ́ dédé ó yẹ kó lásìkò gbádùn kò easy kéèyàn máa ṣiṣẹ́ nílùú òyìnbó kó má wá gbádùn ayé ẹ̀ Ọlọ́run ò ní ṣe títí wa bẹ́ẹ̀ lágbára Ọlọ́run kò dẹ̀ sí bá ṣe fẹ́ gbádùn ayé wa ká jáde ká lọ sí party ká ṣe cruise ká for fun ká ṣe fàájì ká ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ ká rẹ́rìn-ín kí ni wá dùn káyè wá kú ká wọlé ká sùn ká relax ojú bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ká dẹ̀ jẹun tó da sára ká wọṣọ tó da ká lo àwọn nice something ká lò sí àgọ́ ara wa kò jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ so therefore ẹ̀yin mọ́mí ẹ̀yin dáàdì ẹ̀ patronize mi tó bá jẹ́ lace lẹ́fẹ́ ready to wear ó wà mo ní white lace mo ní àwọn ṣòkòtò àtẹ̀wù mo ní lace tó mix pẹ̀lú ankara mo dẹ̀ láwọn pure ankara tún kọlọ̀ wà gbogbo ẹni mo ní níbí báyìí ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mo fẹ́ lẹ́dùnmarè bẹ̀yìn ẹ patronize mi ojú òní tìyìn yes ìyẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá wá nídìí anything spiritual items gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ nídìí spiritual items ṣé ọṣẹ ẹ̀bẹ̀lẹ́fẹ́ ni awọ ègúnwẹ̀ èpè ó wà available awọ ègúnwẹ̀ èpè adábi padà sórí oníbi ọṣẹ àgbélépọ̀tá ọṣẹ back to sender ọṣẹ ìṣẹ́gun protection soap gbogbo ẹ̀ ó wà available ọṣẹ àṣeyọrí kéèyàn máa ṣàṣeyọrí nínú gbogbo nǹkan téèyàn bá ń ṣe àṣetì ò dá o lágbára Ọlọ́run àní báwọn ṣàṣetì láyé wa o ọṣẹ àṣeyọrí ó wà available ọkùnrin lò obìnrin lò ọmọdé lò àgbàlagbà lò ara gbé láyé ní agbára Ọlọ́run àṣàṣeyege kò sóhun tàdúrà ò lè ṣe o àdúrà ò ní ṣe títí wá tì ṣé àwọn ọṣẹ àánú la wá fẹ́ ni àbọ̀ṣẹ awọ ègúnwẹ̀ èpè òun rèé ọṣẹ àánú ọṣẹ awọ ègúnwẹ̀ èpè gbogbo àwọn ẹlòmíì wà ò ní ṣẹ̀wọ̀n wá kọ̀ dẹ̀ máa bínú ẹ̀ wọ́n máa bínú ṣeré rẹ̀ wọ́n máa bínú ògo ẹ̀ wọ́n á dẹ̀ máa robi ìròyàn gbogbo ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá ti robi ìròwà ibi á máa jẹ́ titi wọn bíbélì ní wọ́n dìde sí wa ní ọ̀nà kan wọ́n á ṣubú níwájú wa ní ọ̀nà méje ọ̀rọ̀ bíbélì ni àyájọ́ tó ní agbára nìyẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n á dìde sí wa ní ọ̀nà kan wọ́n á dẹ̀ ṣubú ní ọ̀nà méje ọ̀nà wo ló máa gbà ṣubú ò ní fira ẹlẹ̀ ni wàá kún fàdúrà ni wàá ṣe kí ni mo pè wàá kún fàdúrà ni òun ni àwọn ọṣẹ tẹ́ lè lò ọṣẹ àánú wà ọṣẹ ìbùkún ọṣẹ àṣínà ọṣẹ awọ ègúnwẹ̀ èpè ọṣẹ back to sender ọṣẹ ìyọnú ayé ẹlòmíì wọn kàn déédéé máa bínú sí i a máa pẹ́ kí ni mo ṣe fún lágbájá tó dé ń bá mi jà kí ni mo ṣe fún kì í ṣe lágbájá náà àwọn ogun kan ni àwọn monitoring spirits àwọn jẹ́kọ̀ ọmọ wáyé má ṣe rere àwọn ló ń ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn so gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tẹ́ lè lò fún ìyọnú is available bákan náà ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá nídìí lọ́fíńdà ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá nídìí àwọn pef àwọn ìtọ́ ti ṣiṣẹ́ sí náà ti wà available yes àwọn tí wọn ò ṣiṣẹ́ sí náà dẹ̀ wà gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá nídìí Holy Michael lọ́fíńdà ìṣẹ́gun ni tí wọ́n ti ṣiṣẹ́ sí tẹ́kọ̀ọ́ máa fi sómi ìwẹ̀ yín ẹ pè mí ó wà available ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá need the back to sender tó ti ṣiṣẹ́ sí àbí tí wọ́n ti ṣiṣẹ́ sí ẹ pè mí ó wà available àdúrà gbogbo wa gbà ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá wá nídìí lọ́fíńdà ọ̀nà ọ̀la ọ̀nà gbogbo wa máa là irú ọ̀nà ọ̀la ń sìn yìí ẹ kàn máa fi sọ́wọ́ tẹ́ bá ti ń jáde lọ síbi iṣẹ́ òòjọ́ yín lójoojúmọ́ ẹ máa fi sọ́wọ́ ẹ máa fi ṣàdúrà sí ẹ fi pa ojú ẹ fi pa bọ́dì yìí Jésù Olúwa mi ọ̀nà gbogbo wa máa là èyí tó ti ṣiṣẹ́ sí ó wà available èyí tí wọ́n ì ṣiṣẹ́ sí ó wà available èyí tẹ́ bá fẹ́ bákan náà ni Miss Paris ni èyí tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ó wà Miss Paris ó máa fi ya omi sí mímọ́ ni especially drinking water omi múmu gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá máa ń jẹjẹkújẹ lójú oorun gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ṣe pé no something is wrong ẹ fi ya omi sí mímọ́ kẹ́ gbẹlura kẹ́ mú òróró àánú òun nìyí òróró àánú gbogbo alamara àánú gbà ẹ bá mi ṣe ètò ẹjọ́ ẹ ní dààmú gbogbo alamara àánú gbà lórúkọ Jésù Kristi ti Nazareth àmín òróró ìṣẹ́gun náà wà àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ so èyíkéyìí tẹ́ bá ti fẹ́ anything tó bá jẹ́ nǹkan bí àdójúkọ tẹ́ wá need àwọn spiritual items tẹ́ lè lò sí ẹ pè mí ẹ ṣàlàyé fún mi màá fún yín ní nǹkan tẹ́ máa lò sí mo dẹ̀ nígbàgbọ́ nínú Jésù wípé bí ẹ bá ṣe fẹ́ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ló ṣe máa rí fún yín àdúrà gbogbo wa máa gbà ní agbára Ọlọ́run wọ́n ní ẹ ṣáájò síra yín gbogbo ọ̀nà lèyàn lè gbà fi ṣáájò ẹ lè ṣáájò lọ́nà aládùúrà bíi ti Lady K báyìí ẹ lè ṣe lọ́nà oníṣẹ̀ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ nígbà tẹ́ ti bà tèèyàn jẹ́ ẹ dẹ̀ lè ṣe lọ́nà mùsùlùmí mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta kò síbi tí yóò lè gbà fi ṣáájò nítorí pé kíni Ọlọ́run kan náà là ń pè bí a ṣe ń pè wọ́n ló ṣe yàtọ̀ àti ọ̀nà tí oníkálukú tó gbà wá sáyé òun ló yàtọ̀tọ̀ síra wa ṣùgbọ́n lọ́nà tó ọ̀dọ̀ ti Lady K Jésù òun ni Olúwa ẹni tí tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ní ìlànà ètò àdúrà any spiritual items ẹ pè Lady K ìfẹ́ Olúwa show àdúrà wa gbà àìmọye testimony láti pàṣẹ gbogbo àwọn spiritual items wa ẹ̀yin náà dẹ̀ máa ní testimony ayọ̀ tẹ́ bá ti bá wa dòwò pọ̀ àmín bákan náà èyí tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ra àwọn jewelries tẹ́ fẹ́ lò ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá need àwọn jewelries tẹ́ lè lò ẹ pè mí àwọn jewelries set of jewelries ó wà lóríṣiríṣi gbogbo lówó òun ní Lady K o ìfẹ́ Olúwa show tó bá sì jẹ́ African food náà ni ẹ fẹ́ ra rice ọ̀fadà tó fine tí ò lókúta tí ò dẹ̀rùn ẹ pè mí ẹ fẹ́ ìlùbọ́ iṣu gidi èlùbọ́ iṣu original tí wọn ò mix ẹ pè mí ẹ fẹ́ ìlùbọ́ ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ tó jẹ́ pure ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ no mísímísí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá ní diabetes tó yẹ kẹ́ máa jẹ jù nìyẹn so ẹ̀yin tẹ́ nídìí rọ̀ èlùbọ́ yẹn ẹ pè mí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ nídìí gàrí ìjẹ̀bú sọ́mọ̀ tí ń bọ̀ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá like gàrí ìjẹ̀bú tó gbẹ dáadáa tó fine tó yọ̀ dáadáa lọ́wọ́ tó mú yes ẹ pè mí mo ní ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá nídìí edé ó wà àwọn edé wẹ́wẹ́ wọ̀nyẹn ó wà ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá nídìí pepper soup ingredient ó wà atagúngún ó wà any African food yàtọ̀ sí ẹ̀wà nìkan ni kò sí but other ones gbogbo ẹ̀ ló wà available lọ́dọ̀ Lady K ìfẹ́ Olúwa show ọlá pando yam ó wà ọlá gangan mo ní ó wà available bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn ẹ ṣeun gojú òní tíyìn ẹ má gbàgbé láti subscribe sí YouTube channel wa kẹtàn notification bell ẹ ṣeun gan ire o.